We'll see. Hey guys, welcome to BZTV. Today we are at the Drop Zone on location doing an interview with Connor O'Reilly over here. We have Hadley with us as well. Very excited to be here at the Drop Zone to talk about disc golf stuff. I have a couple sponsors I want to throw out there first. First, we're eating pizza tonight from Nicky's Pizza over there on Tech Ridge in Austin. So if you're in Austin, check out Nicky's. He's got a coupon or something here. I think there's even a code they can use, right?
Hadley Monster.
Then we have Fourth Tap Brewery, a beer company that's actually supported us in tournaments. I'm not a really beer drinker myself, but they have one called the Bat Country Coffee Stout, which I think I might try just because it sounds different. To reserve a table with them, it's fourthtap.com. Sounds kind of cool to go there and hang out at the brewery and test out their beers. One more thing from me is big shout out to Sun King. Sun King is actually going to be carrying some of the chainsaws here very soon, probably the next week or so. So look out for Sun King to be carrying Black Zombie stuff. So let's jump into it and let's talk to Connor. So Connor, how'd you get started in disc golf and what kind of keeps you playing disc golf?
Well, actually, it wasn't until I came back to Austin from college and UTSA, and I moved back in with my mom and my brother. My brother kind of finally got me to go out to Circle C, one of our local courses here, and we played around. And just naturally, being one of 5 kids and having 3 younger brothers, we're all just super competitive. So he beat me. I was like, okay, I kind of enjoy this. We're outside, we're throwing, and I always enjoyed throwing stuff and doing things competitive. So just it kind of fit for me, and having that having someone to compete with, I was like, okay, I'm gonna keep playing this till I can beat my brother eventually, so I can tell him I'm better than him before I'm done. And then throughout that process, I threw a good shot or two, and I was like, wow, I just actually threw the line I envisioned, and just kind of feeling that feeling was addicting, and just it definitely hooked me.
And what keeps you in disc golf?
So what keeps me in it is really just, the everyday improvement, and golf teaches you a lot about yourself mentally, and I think it's a great sport for just if you're willing to put in a little bit of work every day, you can make improvements, and it's really just pushed me to see how far I can take it.
That's kind of the cool thing about disc golf. It's kind of parallels itself with life in general, how we have to try really hard to make anything happen, including BZTV. When trying to get this going, we get better all the time, which makes it kind of fulfilling where you want to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Disc golf and life things are the same way. If you have a passion and you start enjoying it and getting better, if you're not getting better, it kind of frustrates people. They don't keep doing it, but it's like those little steps you make to make yourself better.
Yeah, and you got to understand that throughout the process of getting better, there's going to be those days where you have frustrations and you feel like, okay, I'm lousy, I can't do anything. Even the best players have that feeling. So it's just a matter of pushing through that. And then when you do have those days where it works out, it's just so much more rewarding because you knew you put in you dealt with the days where it was tough, and you saw through it. So that's the best part of it, I think.
And when did you first throw? How old were you?
How old was I when I first threw? I guess I was 24.
Okay.
So yeah, it was late 2016. So I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary here in a couple months.
Do you wish you would have started earlier? How you see some of these cats coming
absolutely.
there, 14, 15 years old?
Yeah, I'd like to see, with my elasticity as an 18-year-old, how far I can throw a disc. But, I also think coming in at a later age, I had a little more mature mental game, so I think that has also helped me and allowed me to grow fast, so I think.
And you went to Bowie High School, right?
Yeah, I did.
So I had a lot of friends back in the day, a long time ago, that went to Bowie High School. I went to Crockett, which I'm sure you know Crockett. Mm-hmm. Actually, I went to Johnston first. It's not there anymore than Crockett. But yeah, that was when Bowie was first being built when I went to school out in that area.
Yep.
Bowie alumni.
Both of you guys. I'm from Port Arthur. So, how long have you been playing professional disc golf?
I kind of made the jump last year at the beginning of the year. I played 2 tournaments at the end of 2018, I guess, that I played in pro, but I kind of was just testing the waters still. And in the second of those 2, I had kind of a low point where there was a round where I was thinking about I should kind of throw this round, have it drop off my rating. And I remember being just so disappointed with myself after that. And that kind of was the moment where I sat there and I was like, okay, do I want to take this sport far, or do I want to just make it a hobby? Because I kind of have to decide, if you want to take it far, I don't think you can. You can't have the honor to throw around. It's just not the way to compete. So that's kind of it was a big moment for me. And then 2019 was kind of the start of me playing open, and I was lucky enough to my first cash was actually a B tier win in my third ever pro event as a 937 rated player. So that was a good confidence booster and kind of just reassured me that like if I kept working, that stuff would work out like I wanted it to.
So how was it playing with friends of yours that probably were better than you at the beginning, and you started getting better than them? How was that transition?
I mean, I've always kind of liked competing, like being coming from a basketball background. I've liked competing with people who are better than me because it pushes you to see stuff in a different way that you might not have thought of if you are playing with people to where you're kind of dominating all the time. And so I think playing with people that are better than you is just crucial to making you learn more and learn faster. So I think that's something that's really helped me. And I almost wish I would have jumped into open right away, just because I would have maybe got my butt kicked a couple times. But I think eventually I would have learned faster and really been able to see some different shapes of shots and see how pros handle stuff.
Yeah, so we did a match play, filmed you doing a match play recently. You said it had a really funny story. You had I don't want to call him a mentor, but we all have different levels of mentors. But you would play alongside, you saw this guy playing disc golf, and he had some certain shoes on, and you thought, is that a disc golf shoe? Should I be wearing that shoe? So tell that story. That's actually really interesting because when you first get into something and you are watching everything going on, you're kind of like,
yeah,
is that what I'm supposed to be doing? Should I be doing that?
What do you wear, like basketball shoes?
Yeah, I mean, early when I was playing disc golf, I saw one of our local guys, Andrew Weichert. Some of you guys might know him, but he was playing at Marymore Seawright, and he had some basketball shoes on, and I had been playing, I think, just some running shoes at the time. Anytime I'd go out, and I was thinking like, oh, okay, maybe. And I saw him around, and he always like I could see him throwing way farther than I was, and I could tell he was into the game and better than I was. So I was like, oh, maybe basketball shoes are a good option to try on. Maybe it gives you better grip on the tee pad or whatnot. So I'm pretty sure I tried it once or twice and just figured out that I was slipping too much, and it wasn't the right call. So
That's so funny.
yeah,
So what kind of shoes do you play in?
I really like those Adidas Terex. They do a good job. So I have some of those Swift R2s. I've got probably like 6 pair that I kind of rotate because if I just wear one pair, the bottom will wear out in like a month as much as I play and as hard as I am on my feet. And then so I've got a couple of different Adidas, and I've also got some other running shoes. But I like to have a small cleat on there because it really helps grip in bad conditions. And if you don't trust your feet, then you can't trust your swing. So
Yeah, you've played in the PDJ. You've had 45 tournaments. How many wins is that for you?
I just got my 5th win a couple weeks ago. I had 1 amateur win in advance before I moved up to open, and I've got 4 open wins now in the last, I guess, year and a half or so that I've been playing open. So.
And you just recently won the World War Z by presented by Black Zombie at Moody's.
Yep, that was a fun tournament. We had really good conditions out there at Moody's, and it's a beautiful ranch style course, and it really favors a big long arm, so it definitely favored my style of play.
Have you played that course before you got out there?
Yeah, I think that was my 4th or 5th. I think that was my 5th sanctioned tournament I played out there. So I the first couple times I remember like it really was getting to me because the footing is different. You're playing on hilly sand, and like it's not a concrete tee box. And I remember the first 2 or 3 rounds I played out there, I kind of felt like a victim, and I was like making excuses, saying and then I realized, okay, like everyone's got to deal with it. You got to deal with it too. So I think as I kind of realized that, it's made me have a better outlook about going out and playing there. It's really helped me play better just thinking about it in a more positive light.
Yeah, back in the day when I played more and kind of did my own touring at a much lower level, one of the things that I really liked about disc golf is playing in different areas, like not just inside of Texas, but other states.
Yep.
Because you're not just learning to play disc golf, you're learning to play disc golf with bigger trees, different like rolling hills, different terrain. So have you been outside of Texas playing tournaments? Have you experienced that?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't been playing very long, but I've been blessed to travel a good amount. I was traveling a lot to go watch my one of my younger brothers in his senior year play basketball on the East Coast. So I was able to get out to like Idlewild and play. I didn't play all the holes, but I played a good number of holes out there. I played some of the Charlotte courses out there, Hornets Nest. I've played Ken Climo's home course in Tampa, Florida. That's a fun one. A lot of big water carries. It's got this gold layout that's kind of ridiculous and seems a little over challenging, but I think I always like a good tough course. And then I've also played in Colorado, so I've seen a good number of different styles of courses. And also being in Central Texas, we're kind of blessed with having a lot of variety, and you can go an hour east to Moody's, and you have the Pine Tree Field. big sandy hills, and then you can go west a little bit. It's rocky, and it's almost like semi-mountainous terrain, and just east of Austin. And then we also kind of have our courses like Roy G, where you're in the big grassy fairways. So I think we're kind of blessed in Austin getting to see a little bit of everything.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
So what in our area here, what's your favorite courses?
My favorites are probably Roy and then the new Met Longs design I like a lot. I really like Met Longs. Just makes you have to have a game plan, you have to execute, you have to hit like your distances as well as your angles. A lot of people say it's repetitive, which I think any golf is going to have some repetitiveness to it, and that's their complaint about Roy as well. But I mean, if you don't like playing Roy G, then I don't know if you like disc golf. I mean, yeah, obviously, if you can't throw very far, it might be hard to score some of the holes, but I think it's just such a beautiful place to be, and enjoying being out in the nature, seeing the deer out there, and it's definitely unique around here. We don't really have a course that quite offers that foresty feel like Roy G does, you know.
Yeah, it is a beautiful course. It's one of my favorites also.
Yeah.
One thing I really liked about the Roy G when I first played it is I like how it backs up to a ball golf course, so it almost gives you that feel of like, we're not to a ball golf level, but they're right next door doing their thing, we're doing our thing, and you kind of see through the woods. Of course, they're looking into the woods watching us throw frisbees and probably still making fun of us. But we're watching out there like, okay, we're getting closer to you guys.
Yeah, and I mean, as we grow, I think a lot of Austinites have a dream of having a big tournament where we can run Roy G and then maybe a rent out part of that golf course and run an open style and a wooded style course, because we could really host a really sweet tournament, I think, using those facilities.
Where's Gordon? Gordon needs to take care of that. Waterloo.
Take notes, Gordon. So, what are your favorite discs to throw for latitude?
My favorites are probably just the ones that are most consistent, I find myself saying, but I do like other stuff as well. I mean, a lot of times if I'm looking for a distance shot, I'm reaching for a Ballista Pro. That's a disc that it's a fast disc, but if you know how to hit the angles right and you can get it up to speed, it's going to go really far.
What speed is that one?
It's a 14 speed, so it's about as big as the rim gets legally.
Yeah.
So it is going to have a lot of finish on the ground when it hits the ground, but if you're in a space where you can work with low ground play and you really just want to make sure you're getting some distance, it's a good disc. Or also if you're a little slower of a thrower, maybe it's a good disc to skip around corners with, because you know that big rim's going to find the ground and still get up in the air afterwards. So.
Oh yeah,
lower profile too.
And
yeah,
it does
different plastics offer a different like that. I noticed some of the Opto is very kind of puddled on top, but this is a different plastic for that, and it's got it's got a big dome in the middle.
You can feel a little more grip inside there, like that pop top in there.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's a good variety when it comes to the tops on the Ballista Pros.
And check that out. That's the big Irish. Got his own stamp on it.
Yeah, if you see me out in the course and you want the Trilogy plastic, I've always got a little stash of my tour fundraisers on me, so holler at me and I'll get you one.
Help them tour the country.
Yeah, right. That's kind of the exciting part of having local pros. Why we really want to do this interview of like supporting the Austin, Texas pros, is to help you get some more limelight. Get some more movement out there. Maybe more people support you, and hopefully Latitude sees you out here. Like whenever we did the match play, watch you throw those Latitude shots, kind of beautiful. Matter of fact, I never even heard of the recoil. Not into the Latitude stuff, or I wasn't before, but watching you throw the recoil really made me think like, oh, I might have to check out a recoil.
That's awesome. And that's always something fun. I've noticed, like as I've switched over to Latitude, seeing some of my friends and stuff see shots and then be like, oh, I want to throw that. That's always a satisfying feeling, I'd say.
So.